You love video games. You play games and know EA. But how did we get here? Well, first, we gotta go back to 1982. Electronic Arts, or EA, is a multinational video game company that was founded in 1982 by Trip Hawkins. The company is headquartered in Redwood City, California, and is known for developing and publishing popular video game franchises such as The Sims, Madden, and Battlefield. At the time, the video game industry was still in its early stages, and there were few companies that were focused on developing and publishing games for personal computers. Hawkins saw this as an opportunity and founded EA with the goal of creating high-quality games for personal computers. To get started, Hawkins recruited a small team of game engineers and developers and started working on their first game, Archon. Archon was a strategy game that combined elements of chess and action gameplay. It was released in 1983 for the Atari 2600 and Commodore 64 platforms. After the release of Archon, EA quickly gained a reputation for creating high-quality games and began to expand their portfolio to include a wide variety of games for different platforms. In the following years, EA released a number of successful games, including the Wing Commander and Ultima series, which helped establish the company as a major player in the video game industry. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, EA continued to grow and expand, releasing a wide variety of games for various platforms, including personal computers, consoles, handheld devices. Some of their most popular franchises during this time included Wing Commander, Ultima, and Need for Speed. In 1991, Electronic Arts, or EA, announced that Larry Probst would be taking over as the company's new CEO. Probst had previously been with the company for several years and held various leadership positions, including executive, vice president, and chief operating officer. Probst's appointment as CEO marked a significant shift for EA, as he was the first non-founder to lead the company. Prior to Probst's appointment, EA had led by its founder, Trip Hawkins, who served as its CEO until its inception in 1982. During his time as CEO, Probst focused on expanding EA's presence in the video game market and building the company's portfolio of popular franchises. Under his leadership, EA released a number of successful games, including Madden NFL and the Battlefield series, which helped solidify the company's position as a leading publisher in the industry. Overall, Probst's tenure as CEO of EA was marked by significant growth and expansion for the company, as he played a key role in establishing EA as one of the leading video game companies in the world. In 1992, EA released the first game in their popular sports game franchise, Madden. This quickly became a bestseller and has continued to be a major success for the company to this day. EA also entered the first-person shooter market with the release of their Battlefield series in 2002, which also became a popular, successful franchise. The Madden NFL series is a long-running sports game franchise that was developed and published by Electronic Arts, or EA. The first game was Madden 92, and released in 1992 for various platforms, including the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo Entertainment System, also known as NES. The Madden NFL series is named after NFL coach and commentator John Madden, who served as the game's lead commentator and spokesperson for many years. Each game in the series features realistic simulations of NFL games, complete with realistic player stats, team rosters, and authentic playbooks. Throughout the years, Madden NFL series has consistently released new games with updated rosters, new features, and improved graphics. Some key features that have been introduced over the series include online play, customizable teams and players, and deep franchise mode that allows players to take control of an NFL team and guide them to success over multiple seasons. The Madden NFL series has consistently been one of EA's most popular and successful franchises, and it has remained a mainstay of the sports game genre for over 2 decades. Each year, a new installment of the series is released, featuring updated rosters, new features, and the series continues to be a top seller in the gaming industry. Overall, Madden NFL series has a long and successful history, and it has established itself as one of the popular, enduring sports game franchises of all time. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, EA began to focus on developing games for console platforms, including the PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo platforms. They also started to release games for mobile devices and online platforms. In 2007, Electronic Arts, or EA, announced that John Riccitiello, don't get me wrong if I pronounce this wrong, Riccitiello would be taking over as company's new CEO. Riccitiello had previously worked for EA in various leadership roles and had a long history with the video game industry. Upon becoming CEO, Riccitiello focused on expanding EA's presence in the gaming market and building the company's portfolio of popular franchises. Under his leadership, EA released a number of successful games, including Mass Effect and Dragon Age series, which helped solidify the company's position as a leading publisher in the industry. In addition to focusing on video game development and publishing, Riccitiello also oversaw the expansion of EA's business into new markets, including mobile gaming and the online gaming. In addition, he led the company through a number of acquisitions, including the acquisition of BioWare, PopCap Games, and Playfish. PopCap, oh man, Plants vs. Zombies, which helped further diversify EA's portfolio of games and franchises. Overall, Riccitiello's tenure as CEO of EA was marked as significant growth and expansion for the company, and he played a key role in establishing EA as one of the leading video game companies in the world. Riccitiello left the company in 2013 and was replaced by Andrew Wilson. In addition to developing and publishing their own games, EA has acquired several other development studios. In 2007, they acquired BioWare, a developer known for the role-playing games such as Mass Effect and Dragon Age. In 2011, EA acquired PopCap Games, a developer known for their casual games such as Bejeweled and Plants vs. Zombies. What a classic! In 2009, EA also acquired Playfish, a developer known for their social and mobile games. In recent years, EA has faced criticism from some players and industry experts for their business practices, including the use of microtransactions and loot boxes in their games. Despite this, EA has continued to be a major player in the gaming industry and has released a number of successful game franchises over the recent years. Critics argue that these types of microtransactions and loot boxes can be addictive and can encourage players to spend more money in order to progress in the game. Some have even called for stricter regulations in microtransactions and loot boxes, arguing that they can exploit players, particularly younger players, who may not fully understand the risks and costs associated with these types of purchases. EA has also faced criticism for their business practices, including their approach to releasing new games. Some have accused the company of prioritizing the release of new games over the long-term support and development of existing games. This has led some players feeling that EA is more focused on making a quick profit rather than a long-term relationship with their players. In 2017, Electronic Arts, or EA, released Star Wars Battlefront 2, a first-person shooter game set in the Star Wars franchise. The game was highly anticipated and received generally positive reviews upon release. However, the game was also subject of significant controversy due to microtransactions in the loot box system. Players of the game were able to purchase in-game currency with real money, which they could then use to purchase various items, including cosmetic items and game-changing items such as new weapons and abilities. Some players felt that this system was designed to encourage players to spend more money in order to progress in the game or unlock certain items. This led to a significant backlash from the players and industry experts, who argued that the microtransactions and loot boxes were exploitive and encouraged players to spend more money in order to progress in the game. Many players also felt that the game was heavily unbalanced, with players who were willing to spend more money having a significant advantage over those who did not. In response to the criticism, EA made several changes to the game's microtransaction system, including reducing the cost of certain items, making it easier for players to unlock items without having to spend real money. However, the controversy surrounding the game's microtransactions and loot boxes continue to be a source of criticism for EA in the game. Overall, the controversy surrounding microtransactions and loot boxes in Star Wars Battlefront 2 was a significant moment in ongoing debate for the use of microtransactions and loot boxes in video games, and the potential risks and costs associated with them. Despite the criticism that EA has faced, the company has continued to be a major player in the gaming industry, and they have released a number of successful games and franchises in recent years. It remains to be seen how EA will respond to the criticism and what changes they will make to their business practices in the future. In 2013, Electronic Arts announced that Andrew Wilson will be taking over as the company's new CEO. Wilson had previously worked for EA in various leadership roles, and he was seen as a strong candidate to lead the company into the future. Upon becoming CEO, Wilson focused on expanding EA's presence in the gaming market and building the company's portfolio of popular franchises. Under his leadership, EA released a number of successful games, including Titanfall and Battlefield, which helped solidify the company's position as a leading publisher in the industry. In addition to focusing on game development and publishing, Wilson oversaw the expansion of EA's business into new markets, including mobile gaming and online gaming. In addition, he led the gaming through a number of acquisitions, including the acquisition of mobile game developer Glue Mobile, which helped further diversify EA's portfolio of games. Overall, Wilson's tenure as CEO has been marked by significant growth and expansion for the company, and he has played a key role in establishing EA as a leading player in the gaming industry. Wilson has been credited with driving the company's focus on innovations and bringing new ideas to the table, and he has worked to build strong relationships with EA's players and the gaming community. Overall, EA has had a long and successful history in the gaming industry, with a wide variety of popular franchises and a strong presence in the industry. They have consistently released higher quality games and have continued to adapt new platforms and technologies, ensuring their place as one of the leading video game companies in the world.